90 Day. Darcy tones herself down to please Georgie's conservative family, but he fears she isn't taking the trip seriously. Darcy toned her style down ahead of her trip to meet Georgie's family in Bulgaria, but he's still worried she was not taking the trip seriously. On the July 20th episode of 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, Darcy spent her final days before the trip doing whatever she could to appear more conservative for Georgie's family, from getting new clothes to swapping out her old long lashes for new, shorter ones. First, Darcy went shopping with her friend Roxy, who is also from Bulgaria, as she looked for some more appropriate clothing to wear on her upcoming trip. But some of the outfits Darcy liked, according to Roxy at least, still were not conservative enough for the culture in Bulgaria, including one black jumpsuit she tried on. "I like this one," Darcy exclaimed as she exited the dressing room. "It feels conservative enough where it respects the family and the culture." However, Roxy disagreed. "You want to earn their respect," she explained. "Or they're going to send you back to America. I don't know if his family is going to approve of me and accept me," she explained. "It's a lot of pressure," Roxy said when she first met her partner's parents. "It took a few trips until I earned their respect. The first visit," she added, "was probably the hardest one." Roxy also suggested Darcy tone down her nails and remove her long eyelashes ahead of the trip. Darcy protested a bit, but ultimately agreed. She hoped that by toning down her look, she would show Georgie that she was putting in the effort to look a little bit more conservative. But she admitted in a confessional, "It's definitely out of my comfort zone." Darcy wound up pleased with the shorter lashes, which she received the next day. She suggested it felt like a good compromise and hoped Georgie would feel the same. "I hope this is enough of a make-under for Georgie and his family because I love myself, I honor myself, and I'll only compromise so much," she explained in a confessional. "And if Georgie keeps pushing at it, it's going to affect our relationship because I'm not going to open up with a man that doesn't give me the respect I deserve. I feel like this is the perfect moment in time to really just embrace our marriage and our love life," Darcy said in a confessional. "Of course, I want to dress very respectfully for Georgie's family, but they're not going to be with us the whole time." But back at home, as they packed for the trip, Georgie did not seem thrilled with some of the outfits Darcy had put together. "Your boobs are out," he stated as Darcy showed him the outfit she planned to wear on the plane. "I'm going to have a jacket on the airplane." Darcy protested as she donned a white fur coat, which she felt covered everything it needed to. She argued that she had toned herself down a lot and pointed out her new lashes. But Georgie did not notice much of a difference and seemed annoyed with his wife. "Thank you, Darcy, thank you for listening to me with these natural-looking eyelashes," he said in a confessional. "I'm 100% sure my parents, they're not going to notice your big cleavage, your super shoes and your short skirt. What's the big deal?" Darcy asked her husband, who noted this is not the first time he has told her how to dress appropriately for the trip. "You don't respect what I say," Georgie argued back, suggesting that people in Bulgaria might think she was I'm worried about. "What my family and friends are going to think about her and what they're going to think about me too because she's my wife," Georgie explained. Darcy tried to smooth things over. "I don't want you to feel nervous," she said before giving her husband a hug. "I want you to care," Georgie said, to which Darcy replied, "I do care." She then said, "I love you," in Bulgarian before they shared a quick kiss. Darcy disagreed, but Georgie insisted she was being disrespectful. "You don't really care about this trip, and that's why I'm upset," Georgie told his wife. Darcy and Georgie then headed for the airport and boarded their plane to Bulgaria. In an interview before taking flight, Darcy acknowledged that the trip means everything to her husband. "I want to give love," Darcy explained. "I'm a giver and want them to feel my love, that I care for their son, that I've always had his back and I just want to feel the same in return." Sarper has officially moved to the United States, but both he and Shekinah are unsure if their relationship can survive the move. Culture shock quickly set in for Sarper as he adjusted to life in the US on the March 23rd episode of 90 Day Fiancé. In addition to what he previously said was a nightmare trip from Turkey, Sarper was disappointed to learn that Shekinah's home was a little smaller than he expected. After scoping out the space, Sarper told Shekinah's dog Adonis, "We'll be inmates together," to which Shekinah replied, It's not a prison. Despite bringing her fiancé over to the US on a K-1 visa, Shekinah was not sure if she and Sarper would truly be ready to wed in just 90 days. Her biggest issue was still trust. "Consistency is everything to me," she explained in a confessional. "So the more that he shows me he's consistently loyal, consistently honest, I think I'll learn to trust him more." Meanwhile, Sarper was frustrated, believing he had done his best to prove himself trustworthy to his American fiancé. However, he was not so hopeful that she would fully trust him anytime soon. "If she never get rid of that insecurities, if she never let me feel the freedom that I want, I will destroy everything, all bridges, and go back to Turkey." He threatened. Sarper's concerns about life in the US grew as Shekinah gave him a tour of his new living quarters. Among his main concerns was the lack of a bidet in the bathroom. "Is it that important to you?" Shekinah asked her fiancé, who adamantly replied, "For 45 years it was important to me." Previously, Sarper learned that Shekinah utilized the first floor of her apartment as a workspace, and that he would have to leave the apartment altogether when she had appointments with clients. Cooking was also not allowed in the apartment, due to Shekinah's work. In a joint confessional, Sarper accused Shekinah of being like a dictator when it came to her home. Shekinah claimed she didn't want to overwhelm Sarper with the reality of her living situation, but Sarper wished she had been more transparent with him. "I wish she kind of told me about this apartment before I came here," Sarper said in a separate confessional, suggesting that her lack of honesty was a red flag. "It makes me wonder if it's not something you can sustain," Shekinah admitted in a confessional. "I just worry that in the future, something's going to happen and I'm going to regret trusting you." Still, Sarper remained frustrated with his fiancé's distrust. "I'm not cheating on you. I won't cheat on you. I will do my best, but you have to believe me," he explained in his own confessional. If she didn't change her ways, he later added, "She will be so regretful about this." Julia Trubkina and Brandon Gibbs are going to be parents. The 90-Day Fiancé stars are expecting their first baby together, sharing their pregnancy news exclusively with People. Trubkina, 31, and Gibbs, also 31, are thrilled to step into this new chapter of their lives, telling People it's both exciting and a little surreal. "Big news we're expecting," the couple shares. "It's both exciting and a little surreal, but we couldn't be more thrilled to step into this new chapter. Thank you all for the love and support. We can't wait to share the journey with you." The couple, who tied the knot in April 2020, appeared on Season 8 of the TLC series, as well as Season 6 of 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, 90-Day Diaries, and Season 2 of 90-Day, The Last Resort. Through the series, fans have been able to follow the pair's relationship from when the soon-to-be first-time mom initially moved onto the Gibbs farm in Richmond, Virginia, from Russia. The transition to living with the family wasn't always comfortable. However, Trubkina and Gibbs' relationship stayed strong, and in January 2022, Trubkina shared an Instagram reel of herself dancing to the cha-cha slide, alongside her husband and his parents. In the video, the family looked to be in good spirits. In her caption, she mentioned that her husband took a tumble as the video cut out. Since then, the married couple have moved into a place of their own. Despite any stressors that they've faced since their relationship, Trubkina noted in a 2022 post on Instagram that when they're together, everything will